Recently, there have been some coaching changes around the NBA. Luke Walton went to Sacramento, Monty Williams nixed the Lakers and decided to go coach the Phoenix Suns, and the Lakers themselves added Frank Vogel. I'm sure there will be more coaching changes during the offseason, but all this coaching carousel sparked an idea in my mind. We know them good coaches, we know them legendary coaches, but do we know the worst coaches to ever coach in the NBA? Hey guys, this is Purple Prince, and today I'm here to tell you about the top 10 worst coaches in NBA history by winning percentage. Just so you know, I won't be looking at coaches who haven't coached for at least 2 full seasons in the NBA, or in other words, you have to be bad and coach for at least 164 games to make this list. So, Igor Kokoskov, you're off this list, for now. Let's get started. Number 1. Brian Winters. 184 games, 36 wins and 148 losses, 19.6% win percentage. Brian Winters was actually pretty good as a player. He had a 9-year career in the NBA, played for 2 teams, was a 2-time All-Star, and averaged 16.2 points for his career. As a coach though, he was one of the worst. His first head coaching gig was given to him in 1995. He had an opportunity to become the first head coach of the new Vancouver Grizzlies team. Previously, he had a 9-year experience as an assistant coach for the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Atlanta Hawks. As an assistant coach to one of the best coaches in history, Lenny Wilkens, Winters had a moderate success as their team regularly made the playoffs but never quite got the job done. Then he was an assistant coach for the Atlanta Hawks, again made the playoffs both seasons, and I guess Vancouver thought he was ready for the head coaching job. Well, he wasn't. In 1.5 seasons with Vancouver, Winters managed to win only 23 out of 105 games. After 2 unsuccessful seasons, he went back to being an assistant coach until 2001, when he was named the head coach of Golden State Warriors. He held that position for 59 games and won just 13 of them. He was an assistant coach for the Charlotte Hornets in 2012-2013 season, but never got the head coaching gig again. I wonder why. Number 2. Sidney Lowe. 307 games, 79 wins, 228 losses, 25.7% winning percentage. Sidney Lowe had an unspectacular career as a player, and as a coach, he didn't do much better. After 2 seasons of being an assistant coach in Minnesota, he was named the head coach of the Timberwolves. In 53 games of his first season as a head coach, he managed to win only 13, and in his first full season of 82 games, he managed to win just 20. He was fired. For the next 5 seasons, he would be the assistant coach for the Cavaliers before returning to Minnesota for 1 season. He was the last coach of the Vancouver Grizzlies and got to coach the first full season of the newly rebranded Memphis Grizzlies. In each season he won just 23 games, and after 8 losses in 8 games to start the 2002-2003 season, he was fired. Since then, Lowe has been busy as an assistant coach, and this season he was an assistant coach of the Detroit Pistons. But for the last 17 years, he hasn't been the head coach, and I think it will stay that way considering his resume. Number 3. Jacque Vaughn. 216 games, 58 wins, 158 losses, 26.9% winning percentage. Vaughn started his coaching career as great as possible. He had a chance to be an assistant coach for the San Antonio Spurs and Greg Popovich. Talk about having a great master to learn coaching from. He served as an assistant coach in San Antonio for 2 seasons before getting his first head coaching gig in Orlando. Orlando was just coming off the Dwight Howard trade to the Lakers and were pretty much into the rebuild process, but we can't use it as an excuse for the team's poor performance. In his first season, Vaughn coached Orlando to only 20 wins in 82 games. In his second year, Orlando improved to just 23 wins, and after starting the 2014-2015 season with just 15 wins in 52 games, Vaughn was let go. For the last 3 years, Jacque Vaughn has served as an assistant coach for the Brooklyn Nets, and the team, especially this year, has been really solid. So far, his head coaching career hasn't gotten off to a good start, but he's just 44 years old, so I'm sure he'll get more chances for the job in the future. Number 4. Tim Floyd. 321 games, 90 wins and 231 losses, 28% win percentage. Tim Floyd was an experienced college coach who got his first NBA coaching gig in 1998. Before him, it was Phil Jackson who coached the Bulls to 6 championships, so he had big shoes to fill replacing a legend. Also, Chicago Bulls went from champions to rebuilding mode, as Michael Jordan retired for the second time. Floyd inherited a torn-down team and didn't do good. In a lockout-shortened season, Floyd managed to coach the Chicago Bulls to only 13 wins in 50 games. In his first full 82-game season, Floyd managed to win 17 out of 82 games. In his third season, he got even worse, 15 wins in 82 games. And after an atrocious start to the 2001-2002 season, where he won just 4 out of 25 games to start the season, Floyd was let go. He went a year without basketball before landing his next head coaching job in New Orleans. There he was actually pretty solid when compared to his Bulls tenure, 41 wins and 41 losses, but the team owners expected more. After just one season in New Orleans, he was released of his head coaching duties. 6 years later, he returned to New Orleans as an assistant coach, but that also lasted for only 1 year, as he accepted a job in University of Texas at El Paso. He coached for 7 years there, on the way had some controversies, and currently is without a job because he's retired. Number 5. Kurt Rambis, 229 games, 65 wins and 164 losses, 28.4% win percentage. A longtime Lakers player and a 4-time NBA champion during Showtime Lakers. No, he wasn't one of the more important players on the team, but he was there and contributed in limited minutes. Only a year after his playing career was over, Rambis was inserted as an assistant coach for the Los Angeles Lakers. After 3 full years as an assistant coach, Rambis was promoted to the head coach vacancy after Del Harris was fired. He had moderate success, getting 24 wins in 37 games, and went all the way to the Western Conference Finals, where Lakers were swept by the San Antonio Spurs. Then Phil Jackson was named the new head coach for the Lakers, and for the next 8 seasons, Rambis was the Lakers' assistant coach. In 2009, he was named the new head coach for the Minnesota Timberwolves. In 2 full seasons, he managed to win only 32 games combined and was fired. He returned to the Lakers once again as an assistant coach for a year before being lured into the New York Knicks organization. There he was an assistant coach for 5 years, but during this period he also was named an interim head coach for 28 games in the 2015-2016 NBA season. He won only 9 games. He hasn't gotten another job since 2018, and with that kind of resume, I doubt he will. It's clear that Phil Jackson ran things in LA because wherever Rambis went alone, his teams were just losing, miserably. Although, you never know when another opportunity might present itself. All you have to do is be good friends with Phil Jackson and be married to a woman who is the best friend of Lakers owner Jeannie Buss. Right, Jeannie? Number 6. Jack McCloskey, 164 games, 48 wins and 116 losses, 29.3% win percentage. McCloskey had a very disappointing playing career. He only played 1 game in the NBA for the Philadelphia Warriors in the 1952-53 season. Almost 20 years later, he got his NBA head coaching gig. He had some head coaching experience before accepting to be the head coach of Portland Trail Blazers. From 1956 till 1966, he served as the head coach in University of Pennsylvania. And after that, he was the head coach for 6 years in Wake Forest. I guess that was enough to land the Portland Trail Blazers head coaching job, where he didn't prove that he could adapt to a professional level. McCloskey was able to lead his team to only 21 wins in his first season and 27 wins in his second season. He was done as a head coach after those underwhelming results. 3 years later, he returned to the league as an assistant coach for the Lakers. He spent 3 seasons at his job before becoming an assistant coach for the Indiana Pacers for 1 season. He never coached any basketball team again, but he had a pretty eventful stint as an executive. He made some key trades in helping Detroit Pistons to capture 2 NBA championships, and later joined the Timberwolves and Raptors franchises at the same position. Albeit, he never achieved the success he did with Detroit. He spent 25 years in total as an executive for 3 NBA teams, and you can call him a much better executive than he was a coach. Number 6. Michael Leon Carr. 164 games, 48 wins and 116 losses. 29.3% win percentage. Michael Leon Carr's head coaching career is pretty much identical to that of Jack McCloskey. The only difference is, before becoming a head coach, he was actually a good player. He was named to the 1975-76 NBA All-Rookie team, was selected to the 1978-79 All-Defensive team, and became a two-time NBA champion with Boston Celtics. In one season, he even averaged 18.7 points per game and grabbed 7.4 rebounds, which is definitely nothing to sneeze at. Before getting a chance to be the head coach, he actually became the executive of Boston Celtics. Just a year in his new role as an executive, he also got a job as the head coach of the Celtics. So now he had two jobs. He still was an executive, and at the same time he was the head coach of a legendary franchise. Maybe it was the difficulty of having two jobs at the same time, but Carr didn't bring the results Celtics wanted. In 1995-96 season, Carr coached his team to 33 wins, but next year he managed to get only 15 wins. After the season, he was fired from both roles, as a coach and as an executive. Maybe he should have stuck to one job at a time. He never coached again. Number 7. Ron Rothstein. 328 games, 97 wins and 231 losses. 29.6% win percentage. Ron Rothstein is one of those rare people on this list who kinda worked up the coaching ladder. He started as a 22-year-old high school team coach. After 8 years at the position, he got a college job for Uppsala Private College. It doesn't exist anymore, by the way. Then worked 3 more years as a head coach for New Rochelle before returning to Eastchester High School to be a head coach there for 5 more years. He got his first crack at the NBA in the 1983-84 season. Atlanta Hawks hired Rothstein as the assistant coach. 3 years there, and he moved on to be the assistant coach for the Detroit Pistons for 2 more years. Detroit had Isaiah Thomas, and their team was one of the best in the league. As it happens, the success of the Pistons also skyrocketed Rothstein's value, and he was offered to be the head coach for the Miami Heat. In 3 years of him coaching, the Heat were horrible. He won 15 games in his first, 18 in his second, and 24 games in his third season as the head coach for the Heat, and all 3 were full 82-game seasons. After an unsuccessful stint in Miami, he returned to Detroit, this time as a head coach. He had an okay season, winning 40 out of 82 games, but considering that the Pistons still had Isaiah Thomas in his prime, he couldn't relive the success of the late 80s. After the season, he became the assistant coach for the Cleveland Cavaliers and spent 6 years in the position before going to WNBA to coach Miami Salt. He returned to the NBA in Indiana to be an assistant coach there. After only 1 season in Indiana, he became the assistant coach for the Miami Heat and spent a decade there, in the process winning 3 NBA championships, albeit with great help from first Dwayne Wade and Shaq, and later the Big Three of Miami in early 2010s. Rothstein retired after the 2013-2014 season. Number 8. Bill Musselman. 258 games, 78 wins and 180 losses. 30.2% win percentage. Bill Musselman had a chance to taste it all. At just 23 years of age, he became the head coach of Kent State University high school team. After only 1 season of high school basketball, he got his first college head coaching position at the University of Minnesota. There he had quite a bit of success, coaching the Gophers to the playoffs regularly. I don't know if it was Musselman's coaching, but during his tenure in Minnesota, the home attendance for Minnesota home games increased from 4,000 per game to nearly 18,000 per game. Musselman joined a pro team in 1975 when the San Diego Sails from ABA signed him to be the head coach. First season was a bust. He coached only 11 games and won just 3 of them. The San Diego franchise folded. But right away, Musselman was offered to coach another ABA team, the Virginia Squires. Regularly, he had problems setting the right player rotations, and according to New York Times, during one game, Musselman played his starters the entire 48 minutes. Musselman led his team to just 4 wins in 26 games and was fired. His NBA head coach career started in 1980-81 season. He coached the Cavaliers 71 games and won just 25 of them. For the very latter part of the season, Musselman was replaced by team's general manager, who didn't do much better. But next season, Cleveland fired their new coach Chuck Daly and replaced him with Bill Musselman. In 23 games under Musselman, Cleveland managed to win only 2 games, and just before the 1982-83 season, he resigned. He went to CBA, where he got 3 head coaching gigs, before returning to the NBA as the head coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves. In 2 seasons there, Musselman won only 51 out of possible 164 games. Right after the season, he was fired. He returned to the CBA and the NCAA before coming back to the NBA to be an assistant coach for the Portland Trail Blazers. He spent 3 seasons at the position, right until his unfortunate death in 2000. Number 9. Eddie Donovan. 278 games, 84 wins and 194 losses, 30.2% win percentage. There's not a lot of information on Eddie Donovan, but I can definitely say that he has a subpar coaching record. Before NBA, Donovan coached St. Bonaventure University men's basketball team for 8 years. Donovan was hired before the 1961-62 season as the new head coach of the New York Knicks. His best season as a head coach was his first one, when he coached his team to 29 wins in 80 games. Donovan was also the head coach of a team that allowed Wilt Chamberlain to score 100 points on them, so he was part of the history. Next season, his win totals dwindled to 21 wins in 80 games, and in his third year, he managed his team to only 22 wins in 80 games. Midway through the 1964-65 season, Donovan was reassigned from his head coach duties after going 12-26 in 38 games. He did, however, stay in the New York Knicks system for 5 more years as an executive, and he had some solid moves like trading for Walt Bellamy. He drafted Willis Reed and traded for Dave DeBusschere, which eventually led the Knicks to the title in 1970. He also was the one who selected Phil Jackson in the 1967 NBA draft, but his other decisions weren't as memorable. After a 5-year stint as an executive in New York, he got a 5-year stint as an executive in Los Angeles Clippers, and actually won the 1973-74 NBA Executive of the Year award before returning to the New York Knicks in 1975 to the position he left. 7 more years he was an executive for the Knicks, but never again did he get any head coaching jobs. And number 10. Al Bianchi. 164 games, 53 wins and 111 losses, 32.3% winning percentage. Before applying for his first head coaching position, Bianchi had a 10-year stint in the NBA as a player. He was a bench player, averaging 8.1 points for his career. His playing career ended in 1966, and right away he got the assistant job for the Chicago Bulls. The team wasn't good at all, but Seattle saw something in Bianchi and hired him as the head coach for Seattle Supersonics. In 2 seasons, Bianchi and his team were able to win just 53 games. After 2 seasons in Seattle, he went to ABA, where he had much better success. He coached the Washington Caps, later Virginia Squires, for 6 seasons, and even won the ABA Coach of the Year award in 1971. After topping out with 55 wins in 84 games during the 1970-71 season, Bianchi got less and less wins every year after that. Just 7 games into the 1975-76 ABA season, he was fired after going 1-6 in 7 games. He quickly found another job as an assistant coach for the Phoenix Suns and spent 12 years in the position. He then spent 4 years as an executive of the New York Knicks and 15 years later returned as an assistant coach for the Phoenix Suns in 21-22 season. He later had a bunch of other basketball jobs like being a college player scout for the Suns and a consultant scout for the Golden State Warriors from 2004 till 2009, but he never ever got any more offers to be the head coach. Thanks for watching, guys. These were the top 10 worst NBA coaches in history by their win percentage. Are you surprised by any entry on this list? Who do you think can someday land on this list? Please leave a comment below. Don't forget to share and like this video, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel, and enable those bell notifications to never miss any of my videos again. Thanks. This is Purple Prince, and I'm out.